begin by paying my respects to the traditional owners of the land on which we're meeting. Pay my respect to elders, past, present and emerging. What a sorrowful privilege it is to honour our friend Graham Richardson. To join with you in celebrating the life of a man so much larger than life, we are still coming to grips with the idea that he has left it, and still assessing the scale of what he has left us. For all of the attempts to capture him through the narrow prism of caricature, Graham was a man of multiple facets. He was the proud son of a postie, a working-class intellectual, a rationalist who could discern the big picture down to the smallest brushstroke, a man who seized life with the vigour of someone who had already tasted death, so badly injured in a car crash as a teenager, he received the last rites, not once, but twice. And as he hurled himself into the life he had come so close to losing, he was powered by the example of his parents, Fred and Peggy. It was there in the family home, a political academy with fibro walls, that they gave him an enduring lesson in the power of persuasion, loyalty and inner strength. Another Cogra kid of Graham's vintage, Clive James, told the story of a changing Australia to the world. That was not Richo's focus. His focus was on changing Australia and having an impact on the world. When it came to making the complex machinery of the Australian Labor Party run smooth, his intuition was profound. He served as the New South Wales Labor General Secretary before arriving in Parliament at the tender age of 33, becoming the youngest senator at the time since Federation. His unparalleled political instincts made him a central figure in the caucus and the cabinets of the Hawke and Keating governments. Undoubtedly, Graham's greatest impact came in the environment portfolio, a role in which he channeled his remarkable energy, focus and persistence into championing the protection of Australia's natural heritage, protection that included saving the Daintree, an act so comprehensive and lasting that in hindsight we have almost come to take it for granted. We have Graham to thank for this and more broadly for the way in which the protection of the environment has become a fundamental Labor value. They are achievements that will endure as a living, breathing reality for time beyond measure. Yet Graham was characteristically self-effacing. In his words, he said this: "My memory won't be around for very long, but the rainforests of North Queensland will be around forever." There is no escaping the fact that Graham's life was often colourful, and it certainly wasn't short on controversy. Yet if Graham was not perfect, he was always very direct. That much was evident in the famously self-aware title of his memoir, Whatever It Takes. He had that rogue's charm, an instinctive capacity to disarm. It's no secret that he played his politics hard, very hard. He was never one to consider losing as a valid option, but he could put old grudges and grievances aside, as we can see from the attendance here. And me speaking, it must be said. Although he did vote for me in 2013. Broke the New South Wales Bright ticket for once in his life. He was a master of forging unlikely friendships. He transcended tribalism to become something bigger than a Labor legend. Richo knew everyone, and everyone knew Richo. He was as comfortable in the circles of the powerful, the famous and the wealthy as he was in the front bar. That was the thing about Richo. He could talk to anyone and, importantly, listen to anyone as well. Yet there was more to Graham than the long lunches and tall tales. He was nearly as much a Sydney landmark as the Harbour Bridge, yet one whose effect spanned the continent. His deeply rational outlook on life was paired with real passion, a true sense of service to party, to the movement, but primarily, above all, to the nation. That's why when Graeme left Parliament, he'd never left politics. He remained a thoughtful, perceptive and engaged observer and commentator, and a source of counsel and insight to so many right across the political spectrum. He faced considerable health challenges later in life, something that he addressed with typical candour. And he tackled it in a way that was utterly true to himself, with courage. Picture Graeme in his hospital bed, recuperating after surgery so extensive that the list of what his doctors removed to give him a shot at life feels like an index of the human body. As Graeme was coming to, a mate at his bedside asked him if there was anything he needed. True to form, Richo's request was clear, to the point and achievable. He asked his mate to go to a cafe near the hospital and get him a Golden Gate home. No matter what life threw at him, he remained an active part of our national discourse. And come election night, he was the person that you wanted on your TV panel. He was always first, his analysis was almost right, and he was never afraid to say what he was thinking, and Australians tuned in to hear what he had to say. I had a chat with him earlier on in the year, where I asked him what he thought would happen. He said, "You're going to romp it in, son." It was a source of comfort when Graeme said that to you, let me tell you, because he was instinctively right in his assessment of the way that politics was functioning. He could see through the noise and listen and somehow be able to give voice to the mob, as he called it, to the mob. He loved and lived all of what politics can be: service, calling, art and craft. And throughout it all, he never forgot his roots, nor the soil that had nurtured them. His favourite saying was, "The mob always work it out, the mob always work people out." Of all the promises that he made, the most powerful, of course, was to Amanda. And he told her that he planned to live until their son Darcy completed his HSC exams. It's a pretty close run thing, but Graeme kept his word. Amanda and Darcy and all of Graeme's family, you are very much in our hearts today and every day. I extend my deepest sympathies on behalf of the nation to all who loved him, to all who knew the pleasure of his company and the benefit of his counsel, and to everyone in the Labor family grieving for a friend, a mentor and an inspiration. Together may we all draw some solace from the knowledge that far to our north, the mighty Daintree is still standing in all its beauty and complexity, an ancient treasure kept safe for generations not yet born. Contrary to Graeme's expectation, may its name forever touch his, and may Richo rest in peace.